Welcome to Conversations with Jen and Mel. This show is about real life with real people, having real conversations, from better health to mental health and more. Let's check out the conversation right now with your host, Jen and Mel.
So this is Red Flags Part 2. Melanie says I need to finish the story about my husband.
Please, because he came correct, because she got a good one. So she got to get finished. We got to get through the rest of this, because,
What's the rest of the story you want to tell the people?
Now, he figured out what his name was.
We did figure out what his name was. Yep. And what else?
So the red flags, they was just temporary.
It would have been a red flag if 6 months or not even that long. If 3 months down the line, I still didn't know the man's name. But I'm too nosy for that because I'm one of them people to be in your wallet when you go to the bathroom.
At least she admitted it.
So I would have found out anyway.
You would have found out?
Yeah.
Is she in the wallet?
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to know what's in here.
Oh. Yeah, I used to check wallets. Yeah. I don't check wallets no more.
Me? I don't check them no more either. I used to.
I used to, too. Yeah.
You check phones? You used to do that?
I used to. Now I got the passcode and I say, why bother?
I don't care.
I don't even. Because if you come to take this one, you're going to be the gorilla.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen.
You better warn her.
You better. Listen.
You better warn her.
Listen, the other I was handing off. This.
This my fish.
Baby.
Go find you your own fish.
That God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
Oh,
So.
I'm not concerned about it.
I'm going to sick my angels on you. Get him.
All right. What was we supposed to be talking about?
We were talking about red flags.
I thought we were talking about jealousy. I mean, we are talking about red flags, but what's the next one?
Oh, you did say jealousy.
What's it, jealousy?
Yeah, jealousy.
And what else?
But wait a minute. Okay, so we talked about that briefly. So about a guy not coming into himself or a man not coming into himself and still being that little boy and seeing us as their competition. And so, you know, what I've learned is that as it starts subtly. Like you don't even know that you have a full-blown envious person. You know, or they even have that potential. But it starts with the little snide remarks.
And I not catch it in the bud.
It is those look, and so some things that I thought were cute in times past, well, I realized that as time unfolded in certain relationships, that was just jealousy, and it was the root of it.
So for some, it starts out being cute.
Yep.
But then it becomes suffocating. Now I can't breathe because I'm restricted and I can't move because everything I do,
yep,
you got something to say.
Yeah.
Or some accusation, some underhanded poke that you're making. You're trying to keep me tied up. Jesus came to set me free. I don't have time for that. I don't got time for that.
Red flags. Shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just want to praise him.
No. That's a flag, ladies.
Okay.
That's a flag.
Okay. So
and men too, because you know, I'm equal opportunity. There's some women out here that be on some other stuff.
Oh, women?
Yeah.
We're wonderful.
Who told you that?
Like, share, subscribe.
Who told you that?
Like, share, subscribe.
Going through wallets and phones. But what else? Red flags. Not being on the same page or being compatible, I think was
I think sometimes the goals. Yeah, the goals. Like so what are your lifelong ambitions? And so you find a lot of times that somebody wants to be a 40-year-old rapper, but and I understand, I believe that, dreams do come true, fairy tales do come true. But meanwhile, while you working that out, what's the A, B, C, D, E, F, and G plan? Because quitting your job is not even realistic.
How we gonna eat
saying that
in the meantime?
Oh, you gonna feed them? What you think?
No. Who said that? I don't know. Some of y'all are volunteering for that foolishness. I'm not doing that.
Uh-huh.
I did that when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
I'm too old for that now.
Yeah. I'm pretty old for that. If my husband came home and said he wanted to be a rapper, I would think that was the coolest thing ever.
You gonna be a hype girl?
Listen, I would be the hype girl. I am her. Listen, here I am right before you. Come on, Doc. Listen, I can rap for y'all. Y'all ready? We could be Beyonce, Jay-Z. I'm serious. I can sing it, but I'm serious. I think that was the cutest thing ever.
If my husband came, I would not think that was cute. I would be aggravated.
But wait a minute. Ain't none of us quitting our day job.
I would be annoyed if he
ain't none of us quitting our day job. We got to understand that when we finish rapping, we still going to have to mount the pulpit. And so I'm going to need your rap to remember.
If we too old for that now, you better become a soul stirrer or something.
Listen, I'm all for it. Go ahead. If that's what you want to do, hat on backwards and everything. Come on. Get your second win, sir.
Crisscross.
Get your second win.
Okay. All right, Reverend. Go ahead.
Listen, I'd be so geek for him to find and especially if he passionate about it. We ain't quitting our day job. We ain't doing none of that, but now we got a hobby.
Okay, that's different. You are supposed to evolve and learn new things and have new experiences.
You know what? I think I'm gonna buy my husband a keyboard.
This age,
I think at this age I'm gonna buy him a keyboard.
If he says he's going to quit his job to become a rapper,
I'm gonna ask him if you need to seek therapy.
Okay, what if he said the Lord told him?
She can't even.
The Lord told him he's gonna be a rapper.
I believe that. I support you. He also said if the man don't work, he don't eat.
He don't eat. Okay.
So I believe you. And so let's come up with a plan. And so, okay, you're gonna be a rapper. So what does that look like? So, are we gonna start by writing? Are we gonna start writing for someone else first? And then at what point are you gonna rap your own materials? I need to know how this is gonna be profitable. So.
I love the way your mind works.
What?
I love it.
I need to know.
It will be a whole nother conversation at my house.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the idea that you want to be a 40-year-old rapper. And I love the idea that God says you're going to be a rapper. And I believe that you can relate the gospel through rap, too. And so now let's look at the scriptures and figure out.
You're going to help him write them lyrics?
I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you to deliver the gospel via rap while we keep our day job. You going to be the Reverend Rapper. I don't know who he's supposed to call you. The Reverend Lyricist. I don't know, but yeah.
Hilarious.
Thy kingdom come, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, red flag. Is there another one you want to talk about today?
Red flags, manipulation.
Ugh.
Manipulation. Yeah. When it's always a story to get you to do what they desire for you to do after you've already addressed it. It's always a story as to why you should do or get on the same page as something you've already disagreed to. They're always trying to convince you to go against your morals.
Oh, no.
To go against your standard.
Not only is that a red flag, that should be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
You somebody who's trying to get you to go against your morals and values?
Yeah. Always a reason why. Yep, always a reason why.
Okay.
But I'm doing this for the children. I'm hiding you for the children because I don't want them to play the baby games. So, you know, I'm not ready to reveal that you actually exist in my life because,
What?
or I'm having all these extra conversations with all these extra people because of the children. But the children grown. Not because of the grandchildren. But they got their own phones.
Oh my goodness. I heard a story recently of a young lady who was dating someone and the son was 17. And she posted a picture on Facebook and then he untagged himself. And he said the reason was because his son didn't know about her.
What?
Exactly.
That's exactly.
That's a red flag.
That's exactly it. People have all these relationships, you know, and it's crazy because it's interesting how they have all these reasons and try to convince you as to why they're hiding you in certain circles. So now you're the girlfriend in church and in the family, but in the world you don't exist. You know? But you approach the world as you're still single. You know, but I'm dating her because ideally in the church she works and the family life she fits. But in the world I still got my options open.
If he not claiming you, that's more than a red flag.
Ooh.
If he ain't claiming you, there's nothing.
Nothing. It won't end well. It won't end well.
Yeah.
You a secret.
And most of the time, if you a secret, it's because his other girlfriend or his wife.
So once you discover all these red flags, or you in a relationship and now you're vested in a relationship, like, okay, I found my heart in this place. It's interesting how we have identified the red flags. We've overlooked the red flags. We have acknowledged that the red flags exist. And now we continue on down this rabbit hole with the idea that the red flags no longer have to exist. That even though I'm dating Tracy, I can turn him into Trevor if we just continue down this rabbit hole long enough. Eventually they're going to change. And so with the magic day,
I don't know nothing about these magic wands that you speak of.
yeah,
I do know that nobody is perfect, including myself. That
you're pretty perfect, Jen.
I am not perfect. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. But, and I also know that marriage consists of a series of concessions. But what concessions are you willing to make consistently over time?
And I think that's
some of them,
that's
abuse is not for me. Now, I'm not disrespect, abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, financial, I don't do none of that. And I'm not doing the not working thing because I did that when I was younger. I'm too old for that now. So whatever dreams you need me to support, your day job, or in my case, your midnight job, you got to keep.
So when you talk about red flags, something came to mind. So a red flag is when you don't promote and exhibit behaviors that I want duplicated in my children.
Ooh.
And so if you don't model behaviors, or you cause me to accept behaviors that I don't want my daughters to accept,
Mm-hmm.
or you display behaviors I don't want my sons to promote,
Mm-hmm.
then, bro, you're not the example. We can't do nothing here. Like, even if it's just me and you, we can't multiply. Because I cannot allow my daughters, even if I would say, and so mothers out there, now I'm talking to you all. And so some of you all that are dating or in relationships and you find yourself in a place where certain behaviors you've become desensitized to, understand that when you are allowing these behaviors to exist in your children's life, even if it's your child's father, I'm not saying he can't be the child's father. What I'm saying is when you allow him to behave in that manner towards you, you tell your daughter that behavior is okay. You co-sign that in her life. You saying, if mama accepted because I am the model, I'm the example of a woman that she sees. So now I'll allow those behaviors to be okay. I approve of that abuse in your life too. And so now we begin to leave a legacy of abuse. So now we have a trail of dysfunction that's following down the bloodline, but somebody has to break the cycle and make the tough choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm adamant about that is what we tolerate. Because sometimes we become desensitized to it, but understand your daughters are watching. And understand that not only are your daughters watching, your men are modeling. So even unconsciously, they're becoming that. Because anything that's how we change the generation. We change the generation through what we hear, what we see, and what we experience. So if what they hear is being planted in their heart, it's slowly taking root in them. So how will it come forth? What will be the fruit of that?
Mm-hmm.
So then our children are watching us tolerate abuse, which is angering them. And we wonder why our children are either hoarding things in their heart.
Harboring hate.
Yes.
Resentment.
Yep. Heart full of mess.
Acting out.
Yep. Full of it. Full of it. Full of it.
Running away.
Full of it. And we wonder why.
Yep. Don't respect you or the spouse.
Nope. Or adults.
Or adults' authority, period.
Yeah. None of it. And so, red flags. Red flags when my relationship does not reflect what I want modeled in my children. And don't give it to me from a place of all men are dogs.
Because they're not.
That's not true. You lie.
That's not true.
That is a lie. That is a lie from the pit. A pair of pants, and I said this before, a pair of pants ain't better than no pants at all. Right. Community man ain't your man, understand. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You know, our parents used to have some morals or some, I'm sure they got right before they got to us. There is some things they didn't bring home because they didn't want to display before us. We need that standard to return to our household because our children are missing that.
Yes.
Our children have fallen for the okie doke and they have no standards at all. So we need that standard. I mean, share this with a young person. We need the standards to return to our young people.
Yes.
Because we dropped the ball. Some of us have dropped the ball. Our children are lacking standards because we have tolerated and modeled behaviors in our immaturity because we had children so young or in a place that was dysfunctional that our children are the product of dysfunction. But that thing needs to be broken. Somebody has to break the cycle because now our children are rearing up children in the midst of dysfunction, and then we didn't break it. And the cycle continues. Anyway, red flags. When your relationship don't look like one you want to see reproduced.
Right. That's
replicated.
That is a red flag.
In the lives of those that you love. Because understanding that everything that we do, he said, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish. That in everything that we are, in our character, in our conduct, you know how you know a church? You know a church by its members. Mm-hmm. You know what kind of pastor you got by the fruit that it bears. You know what kind of person it is by the people that surround them and the things that they produce out of them. How do you know? From things that you produce. So everything that we do is multiplying, it's reproducing. So what are you producing? What are you reproducing? What are you multiplying? And I know we need to go back and undo some things. And the only way we can go back and undo some things is through conversation and through prayer.
Okay, that was going to be my question. We touched on it, we started the conversation earlier.
Yeah.
We see the red flag, now what?
We see the red flags, now what? What do you do? How do you unravel it? So now these are conversations. These are real conversations. I see the red flags. Now, how do I detach myself from that place? Now, see, I'm quick to pray about, and that has been my safeguard on relationships, because sometimes guys will be coming and they scare me, like, where y'all come from and what you want. And so it has been my safeguard in many instances because I would pray. Pray and pray, pray, pray. Because then you understand, as you begin to pray, God will begin to reveal. But when God starts revealing, you got to be ready to say, I ain't wasting my time. Don't let desperation and loneliness outweigh wisdom. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Because one thing you don't get back, listen, women.
Can't get that time back.
You don't get that time back. Men got more grace on their time than we do.
Yes, they do.
Uh-huh.
They get finer the older they get.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But
that was just a whole side.
She just said that they get finer the older they get. Okay. On the other end of that, when they get old, they'll go find them somebody younger.
Ooh.
Yeah, they do that. They do that. So don't let nobody waste your time. If you know he ain't the one, run. Listen, if God is giving you red flag, I don't care if you're on your way down the aisle and you ain't saying I do. I don't care. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm taking it from experience.
You have not said I do.
If you ain't saying I do, I don't care if the wedding is paid for. I don't care. It ain't worth that time you're going to have to serve that sentence. Because if you know you have been given the red flags, God is giving you every way of escape, because he will. Ask me how I know.
He will.
Ask me how I know. Give you that way of escape, and you don't take it, then you're going to commit yourself to something that you ain't going to be released to. God say.
Yes. And there are some practical ways to act opposite to love. Mm-hmm. So, cutting off communication.
Block.
Not looking at pictures and mementos. And,
give it all back.
Turn
the ring in.
Not going to places where you know they're going to be at.
Yep.
Stop going over his mama's house.
Listen. I remember when I was a kid, I was engaged to a guy, And he was a good guy, too. He was a good guy. He was just wasn't my guy. But when I tell you I bagged up everything, I mean, I had a big contractor bag full of stuff that he had given me and I'd accumulated. I don't want none of these remains and no residue, and I don't want none of you around and nothing you giving me. I'm wrapping it all up. See, I didn't understand the principle of that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand that I was giving back the whole attachment.
Yes.
I didn't understand that then because I had just gotten saved. All I knew is everything that was attached to you had to go. I mean, the engagement ring, I should have pawned it or something, but changed it in for something else. But gave back the ring, gave it all back. But at that time, the red flags was, even though we were talking about marriage, he was immature to be a husband. Even though he had the character possibly to have been a husband and probably is a great one now, some 30 years later. You know, then during that time, he was still a boy.
And timing is important.
And timing is important.
You know, we've talked about that a couple of times. But, you know, my husband and I, we talk about what if a lot. And do we think we would still end up in this space had we met each other earlier?
Oh, no.
He says yes. I say no. Because I don't think either of us was in a mental
place to listen.
Place.
Red didn't want none of Mel. Mel didn't want none of Red. But now Damon and Melanie, oh, that's my baby. Ooh.
Yeah.
Listen, Mel still had
a lot of. It would have been rough had we.
I needed some anger management.
Yes.
He needed an anger management and conference. Lord, no.
Yes.
Red flags.
Red flags.
Like and share. Like and share. Like and share.
And leave us a message.
Leave us a message. And don't keep allowing Mr. Wrong or Mrs. Wrong to occupy space in your life. Because there needs to be room for the one God is intending and has purpose to come into your life. But God is not the author of confusion. So if you're in a place and you're in a place that someone else is occupying their seat, then God is probably going to just wait until you usher them out so it won't be no confusion among them. Yes. Much prayer. We pray for you in your house. Much prayer, much power. Make the tough decision. If you have to. Identify the red flags. Because your children are watching. And others too.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Conversations with Jen and Mel. Please join us every Monday at 8 p.m. for new episodes on Facebook, YouTube, Rick.tv, and the Rick TV app by way of Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join us again next time on Conversations with Jen and Mel.